CTM stock is heating up and smart money is already moving in. We're going to break it down here. Tomorrow morning, Sunday, I'm dropping a no fluff stock market report. Kind of looks something like this. And if you want to get your hands on this with price targets and earnings for the next week and watch me trade live at the open on Monday, it's that second link in the description to join Stockmate right now. Don't wait. This window is closing. So get in before it closes fast. Take a look here. CTM, $286 profit so far in this little trade here that we started towards midweek last week. You can start to see the trend and why we're trading it. There's two trends happening. This is a company that's very small market cap, so there is risk associated, but you can kind of see this trend, right? So there's a rising support, higher support, and then you got this resistance right here. So there's a resistance level. And essentially, we're looking at it and we're seeing this swing back and forth, this swing back and forth. And now we're starting to see this trend start to develop where it's making its way up into this $1.60, $1.70 range. And the reason we're trading it this week is because this past few months, it's been making this swing, and it's about a 100% swing. Here it happened, and then back here it happened, and then it also happened or is on its way, to happening right here. So that's the swing that we're playing. We're in a smaller position, about 3,300 shares, and we're up about $250. Now, why are we covering it right now on a weekend? Well, there's some moves that could potentially play out in the near term. You start to see this support and resistance that it's starting to develop. You see this trend that's starting to break into. As it's holding above this 200-day moving average, it's going to be key at market open because this is the trend we'd look for, this little trend. And essentially, when you're looking at this type of trend that starts to develop, the number one question that you may want to ask yourself is, have you seen the indicators that would indicate this as confirmation? So basically, we're holding above this SMA, we're holding above this EMA. A break into this $1.27, $1.30 range would be a continuation of this pattern, and that's why we're going to watch it closely. Now, it could break pattern here. It's at a resistance. It struggled a little bit to break through on Thursday, but then on Friday, after it sold off a little bit, it started to push back up, and it's at that level. So we're going to see if it can break above this $1.30 range, and if it does, I think that's about a 20% increase. And then if we make its way all the way to continue this overall trend here, that would be about a 36% price increase from where it's at currently. Now, to previous highs, we'd be looking at much more, about 150% or more. And you might say, Will, that looks like quite the increase. How could we possibly see that? Well, let's take a look at CTM stock. A couple institutions have recently gathered some positions in this company, not any massive positions, so keep that in mind. You see, just about 10,000, is that right? No, $100,000 from Vanguard. If you look, looks like State Street is in there, about $60,000. If you look, what other ones do you got? Bank of America's in there, and Goldman Sachs was in it, but they sold out. So not massive industry adoption, but definitely starting to see some of the biggest institutions get in before the end of 2024. So keep that in mind for the financials, and then also keep this in mind for the financials on the actual earnings and what we could potentially see. Their market cap has grown a bit. It's up to $85 million. It's still tiny comparison to other similar companies. If you take a look at this right here, you'll see the revenue is at 10 million, and that's in a quarter. So they're making 10 to 11 million per quarter in revenue, which is quite good if they have a market cap of just 85 million. Their net income is a little bit negative there, just around -1 to -2, but nothing concerning. Their net profit margins are about between -10% to -30%. And mostly what we're looking at here is a positive catalyst from their recent news that's come out around their partnerships. So the value that is seen in companies when we're breaking them down is going to be in the chart, is going to be in the financials, as well as institutional investors But one of the things that we look at too is where are they projected to grow from a news sense or from a partnership sense. And as you can see, they have these Oasis Plus unrestricted IDIQ contracts. What that means is they're essentially on demand. They just signed this back in December 2024. They're on demand, ready to serve the US government for big projects. This is a no ceiling value, so it can be any price of a project, and it's a 10-year performance period. So this is a pretty big timeline for them to see growth. Now, just after they signed that contract, they came in with this $103 million contract to work with naval air systems. So they're working with the Navy there. And this is now getting into kind of some warfare tech. So before we saw widespread, working with the government on specialty systems, on managing large amounts of data, but now they have this very clear naval contract about $103 million. And that just came out right after they basically got that Oasis Plus on-demand government contracts. So they got that, and they also got appraised for this level 3, essentially CMMI. It just basically means that their management and how they manage their company is capability maturity model integration. Basically means they are able to scale and they have the systems in their business to take on bigger contracts. So that means that they're obviously going to, because of that, they're going to be eligible for bigger contracts from the US government. So they're kind of in warfare tech. If you take a look at their mission and how they do it, it says provide the US government customers with mission critical services in support of their national security responsibilities in a timely, focused, and cost effective manner. They work with cybersecurity, mainly specialized information warfare, informational technology, as well as software engineering and data analytics. They do utilize some AI, and you can see some of the types of partnerships that they offer and the types of people that work in the company is also quite interesting. If you look at their executive management here, this CEO served in the Naval Aviator, so it makes sense they got that big Navy contract. You can also see he's into AI and machine learning quite heavily, and that is the CEO. And then Jay Wright here is from, let's see, CEO Tamsco. He's got a law degree. Okay, so someone that specializes in law. He's general counsel. Their CFO, who specializes in the financial side of things, has a bachelor's of business administration and accounting, and it seems that they were an audit partner, so has a pretty good track record of dealing with private companies and aerospace and defense companies as well. And then their COO here is also one that is working on helping companies to build out bigger contracts, and you can see that he has a track record of working with a lot of similar companies as well. So why is that important? Those are all factors we're going to be looking at, and with that combined with the trend as well as that new contract that could increase their revenue here, it makes sense that this company could have some potential here into Q2. So we're looking for this trend right here. That'd be about 15%. Looking also for this overall trend to continue. That'd be about 30%, but it's at a critical point here around $1.25. We'll have to see if it holds that level. So far, that trade's going fairly well. And if you guys want to watch me trade live at market open on Monday and also get this report that I showed you that we release in Stockmate with our earnings and which companies we're watching, along with all the price targets for each, then it's the second link in the description. Thank you guys again for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.